All right, guys, so to do our abbreviated notations, all right, the noble gas configurations, or the abbreviated notation, sometimes called, all right, so again, how we're going to do this is you look at your element, you have to figure out where it finishes, and then you can use the periodic table or the off-bow diagram in order to put them in the correct order after. So let's go through these. Arsenic, okay, is AR. So we'll go to AR. Oh, sorry, it's AS. AR is argon. Wow, silly. All right, so AS is here. What does AS finish on? AS finishes here, yes? So it finishes on 4p3. So by looking at the off-bow diagram, all right, 4p3, we have to figure out exactly what we need to write after we have our noble gas in the correct spot. So you have to determine the noble gas that comes before this element. So the noble gas that comes before arsenic, the noble gas is only this column. Okay, this group, sometimes called group 8A, group 18, noble gases. So if arsenic is here, AS, the noble gas that comes before it is AR. So we would start off with that here as AR. Now, what comes after 3P? So you can look at the off-bow diagram, all right, or if you're using your periodic table, let me zoom out. So after arsenic, after argon, after 3p6, we would be at 4s2. So we have to pass the 4s2. So that would be the first thing that we would write, 4s2. Then we have to get through the entire D block in order to get to 33. So we are going to have 3d10. And now we're into the 4p, and we're 4p 1, 2, 3. So our complete finish notation would be this guy. So some of the ones that, let's say, I just saw a lot of people messing up with. Let's take a look at Einsteinium, ES, number 99, right down here. So let me highlight that for a sec. This guy. What is the noble gas that comes before that? Yes, sir. Or YB. So YB is not a noble gas. So that could be part of the things that we were messing up with. All right. These guys are not noble gases. Noble gases are only in this column here. So we have our helium through radon. We don't really care about 118. We're not paying attention to him. So what is the noble gas that comes before 99? Rn. So that's what you're going to start on. So you'll have to then start at Rn. All right, this is 16 Einsteinium. Now, radon finishes at 6p6. So that takes care of, on the off-bow diagram, that takes care of everything up to the 6p. So now we need to figure out, where are we finishing? What position is Einsteinium finish at? 5F. 5F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need to finish at 5F11. Radon finishes everything up to 6P. So to get to 5F11, it's just going to be 7S2, then 5F11. Okay, so after radon, we have our 7S2. And then that would drop us into, after 88, become 89. and we scoot all the way across, and since Einsteinium is the 11th one there, that would be our configuration. Some of the ones that we got marked wrong. What is one that we got marked wrong? Just give me the name or a number. It has a little red mark on it. 21? Okay, so this is a good one. This is a common example that is easily mistaken. So, number 21 says, what is the configuration, noble gas configuration or shorthand notation for argon? And so I had some people just write argon in the square bracket. So not a bad idea, but it has to be the noble gas that comes before it. So since argon is here, all right, at 3p6, what is the noble gas that comes before argon? Neon. So for number 21, you'd have to start off with neon. Now, neon takes care of everything up to 2p6. So after 2p6, we have 3s2, and then we scoot across to 3p6. So it would be 3s2, 3p6. All right, what are some of the other ones that we got wrong?
Why don't we write the D one out?
For which one?
Why don't we write the D?
For argon?
Yeah.
Because argon is here.
Oh.
It's at 18, so it hasn't gone through that section yet. So what was one of the ones that were marked wrong? 18. Okay. So 18 is number 42. I'm even terrible at saying this, so I'm not going to even attempt it right now. All right. So we are here at 42. What is this guy going to finish on? 4D, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know where I'm going to finish at. So you sometimes, me personally, I would even just have that to the left of it. So I'm going to finish at 4D4. Okay. What is the noble gas that comes before this dude? Is it argon, krypton, xenon, radon, neon? Which one comes before? Kr. So Kr would be our first thing that we're going to start with there. And that takes care of everything up to 4p. So then after that, right, after 36 comes 37, which is our 5s. We have to pass that because we're here at 42. So we have to fill our 5s. So we would have 5s2. And then now we would be in 4d. 4d, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of you guys may be like, well, wait a minute, I had 44, and then I also had 5s2. But you guys did not have it in the correct order. That is something else that is a different way that was taught online, or that's just something you looked up and got it off of Google. It's not the way I've been teaching you. All right? So this is the way that you need to go about it. Let's take a look at, for example, platinum. So platinum, number 17 on the homework. Platinum is atomic number 78. So where is this guy going to finish? In what? With what on the off-bow diagram? It's going to finish in the 5D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to finish at 5D8. So I know that I'm finishing there at 5D8. Okay, so next thing I got to do is figure out what noble gas comes before it. Noble gases are over here. So what noble gas comes before 78? Xenon, Xe. So that's what we're going to start with. Now, if you're looking at the off-bow diagram, let me see how this works. If we're looking at the off-bow diagram, what did we say? What did we just say? It ended with 5. What? 5d8. All right. So if we're finishing here at 5d8, the noble gas that comes before it, all the noble gases are ending in the p block, besides helium, which is in the which finishes in the 1s. So this would be our neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and then 6p would be radon. So we're finishing here at 5d. So the noble gas that came before it, xenon, finishes here in the 5p6. So to get to what we need of 5d8, everything that is in between those two have to be filled. To fill an s block, how many does it get? Maximum of 2 electrons. So we would have 6s2. F block gets a maximum of how many? How many electrons can there be in the F block, or how? 14. So you would have then 4f14. And then that would put you where we need to finish, at 5, all right, 5d8. So doing it like that, guys, all right, is a quicker way. What was one of the other ones that people wound up getting messed up? I know there are more than those ones that we just kind of went over. What other? Number 20, zirconium. So zirconium, number 40. Okay. So for that, sorry that I'm kind of flipping back and forth. So zirconium is here. So what is it going to finish on, guys? Zr is going to finish at 4d what? 4d2. And what is the noble gas that comes before it? Good, Kr. Now Kr finishes where? In the 4p's. I don't know what that was. All right, so we are going to finish at what again? 4d2? Okay. So the Zr, the noble gas that came before it, we said was krypton, which would take care of everything up to 4s. We are finishing here at 4d. We need to get to 4d what? 2. So the Kr takes care of everything to the left of 4p. 4p itself. So the next thing that you need to have is your 5s. And how many can the s block hold? So it needs to be in the order that I've shown and taught you. Okay? It has to be. Is everybody okay with that? Does that make sense now? Does anyone have any questions on those? So if I said, hey, let's do lead. Lead is Pb, element 82. So where does Pb finish? So it finishes, yep, 5p2.
Or no, 6p2.
6p2. Okay. And what is the noble gas that comes before it? Xenon. Okay, so if we have our off-valve principle all stressed out in the correct order that I've shown, so we're finishing at 6p2. So Xenon takes care of everything, right? It finishes everything through 5p6. So we would be here. I guess let me erase this and make it underneath. So we said we were finishing at 6p2. Okay, so how many does the S block get? 2, F block 14, D block can fit at maximum of how many?
10.
Okay. So this would be the configuration for lead. This would be our configuration for lead. All right, now I don't know why, but I had some people writing F7, and I even saw a couple S7s, which I was really confused about. Like I saw like a 5S7. I don't know if that was just the way you wrote it too, but yes. Okay. Why did I write it? Okay, that's a good question. So xenon, all right, according to the noble gas configuration, all right, you have to figure out the noble gas that comes before the R element in question. So the element in question, excuse you, was here, PB. And so the noble gas that came before it, noble gases are only, all right, these guys here. We're not worrying about element 118 because you wouldn't really use that in the configurations anyway because nothing else came or comes after that. So we can't use radon because that has 86 electrons. We only have 82. So we would use xenon there first because that would take care of the 54 electrons, and then we would have to write out the remaining pieces of it. So after 54 comes 55, 56, and then from there, 57 through 70. That would bring us back up to 71, which is our 5D block, and then we're in our 6S2. Okay? All right.